All right, what is up, everyone? This is the Osmo.com NHL Hit the Ice show. Sorry about the delayed start. I see quite a few of you are already in here. What is up? So, you guys are excited for us to start. We're here with Nolan Kelly to break down this 6-game slate. Nolan, how are you doing? How's DFS been treating you as of late?
It's not as good as it's been treating you lately, hey?
Yeah. Good,
Nice.
good way to start off the year yesterday with that
Absolutely.
showdown. So, that was
That's
fun.
awesome.
But
Good
yeah,
for you.
yeah. Uh, I don't know. I mean, hopefully a sign of things to come for the rest of the season. But
Absolutely. Was that your first big GPP one of the year?
I got second, so I guess it wasn't technically. It was a really
Yeah.
nice cash, but
Yeah.
no, I had a couple early ones that were
Nice.
pretty nice. I had a 10K win in that $8 when it was really
Sweet.
big at the beginning of the season. I think I took it down two nights in a row. One of them was pretty small though,
Oh my God,
but
that's awesome.
yeah, it's been a good season for sure.
Good.
But now I think it's your turn to bank on this six gamer. So
Let's go. Let's
yeah,
go. All the
yeah.
stars.
How are we
That's all
doing
we
with
need.
news today?
Not I think a lot of it's just sort of out. Like there's a lot of it going on, but it's pretty obvious. Like I think most people are pretty aware of what's going on, but I'll just pull up my article and check her out here.
Sure.
Go back there. But yeah, it looks like I don't know. Do you just want to go game by game or?
Yeah. We'll go game by game. I didn't know if
So
there's anything you wanted to hit off.
that's the only
The
thing that
top.
stuck out to me. Like, do we know what was going on with Colorado one last game? I think I was out during the line rushes, but they did not. They did not break up that trio
Yeah,
at all.
they just it was supposed to be Tyson Yost,
Yeah,
right? But I saw the overwhelming majority of time for McKinnon and Rantanen was with Landeskog.
yeah.
Um,
So that could be an advantage tonight. Like
mhm.
Yost is still listed on the line on the top line. So, yeah, I don't know. There's probably gonna be some subsection of people that will still
Sure.
roster him with McKinnon and Rantanen.
We've got our first Pat Nemeth question of the day.
Is that like three a day?
Yeah, good punt D. I'm assuming that's a troll. Uh, Boy, Nemeth, what a guy. 6.5 total. I'm sure you could do worse than my boy Patty Nemeth. No, don't play that scrub.
No.
Anyways, yeah, let's just go through it. We've got
Sure.
a fun one to start out with.
Yeah.
Vancouver and Ottawa, 3.4 implied total for the Canucks.
Pulling off a sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead.
No, just saying, pulling off a blockbuster this morning too.
Yeah.
Anytime you can acquire the worst player in the NHL, you got to do it, right, Jim Benning?
Tom Pyatt, yeah, what a guy, Tom Pyatt.
We're all very excited because I think in the 6 years that Benning's been in charge, this is the first draft pick he's ever acquired. So it's groundbreaking stuff. Vancouver.
Oh yeah, I forgot Vancouver's your team. Okay, so
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
invested in this one. You
Oh,
excited
big
to
time.
have big Tom
This is more
Pyatt
of a
on your
like
team?
well, he's going to go to the AHL. I think he
Okay.
cleared waivers recently, so he's going to be in Utica. But it looks like they're just paving the way for Thatcher Demko to come up, who's
Okay.
kind of like second round pick of the Canucks a few years back. They're kind of high on him, so that's sort of what everyone is actually excited about, rather
Okay.
than just getting rid of Nilsson and who's it, Archibald or something.
Yeah. So big total in this game, 6.5.
Yeah,
And I don't know, right off the bat, I really like the Tierney, Kachuk, Stone line. Wrote them up this morning and last night when I was first looking at the slate. They kind of jumped out to me. They're basically going to hit my caps tonight, which are going to be pretty low. I think I'm running quite a few uniques, and I'm in that $33. So I don't have the luxury of like 100 to 150 lineups tonight. Probably going with 20, maybe make another 20 for the $8. But yeah, I really like the Ottawa top line. What say you, Nolan?
Yeah, I like that one. Obviously, they got an A value from Osmo as well. I think as well the Ottawa 3 line, if you're pairing them with some larger, with some higher price stacks, isn't a bad way to go. They're super cheap. I think they're just around 10K. I like both sides of this game. The top 2 lines for the Canucks. Goldobin is cheap. At 3,800 on DK. That's kind of nice. I don't know if he's in the doghouse. Like, you kind of have to watch out with him because like he could just be benched at any time. Travis Green hates him. So, and then yeah, the second line, Antoine Marcel isn't exactly exciting, but Besser and Peterson. Ottawa's given up the highest amount of shots in the NHL. Like, This has just some solid stuff all around. And then like I don't hate the Vancouver third line, but as a punt play, but generally like stick with those top two Vancouver lines and then Ottawa 3 to fit into some like higher price stacks if you need them.
I may have missed something, but I thought I saw that it was going to be Pettersson with Besser and Levo. Or I thought one of the beat writers was maybe speculating that it was going to be that.
Let me take a look.
And this may have been a tweet from hours ago, and it may not matter anymore. But just wanted
there's
to
one
check
guy
out.
for Canuck stuff. Jeff Patterson's really good.
Okay.
He's just always on top of stuff. So I'm just gonna look at his feed now.
Goldobin healthy scratch. Jeez.
Is that right?
That's what Corsi in chat saying. He's usually pretty plugged in to all over the NHL. Could be. I'm not sure. I'm not a big Canucks guy. I leave that to you, Nolan. But I mean, in general, just for DFS purposes for this game, no matter who it is on the second line, quote unquote second line with Pettersson and Besser, that's the line I want to play. It's going to be someone cheap, whether it's Baertschi that jumps up there, or Levo. It's going to be someone cheap enough that the line as a whole is grading out as pretty good value for me. I always talk about how I want to target Ottawa when they're on the road, but they're still not very good at home. They're just not like all-time bad when they're at home. Yeah. So I think people overuse stacks against Ottawa when they're
way worse on the road.
Yeah. So, you still certainly can target Ottawa here. I'm going to have some Pettersson, Besser. But that's really about it. I would like Horvat. I just can't play him with his line mates. You just never know who they're going to be from game to game.
You're 100% right on that. I must have missed this. So it's Jason Brode. I think it's per Jeff Patterson. I don't see him tweeting it, but yeah, healthy scratch for Goldobin likely. Roussel on the top line, Levo on the second line, and then third and fourth lines are the same.
Okay, so
Eriksson's up on the top line. Sorry, so Eriksson was on Vancouver 4, so he's with Horvat. Virtanen's down on 3, so I'll just update. I'm just gonna cut and paste that while we're chatting and put that in.
That's good.
Thanks for that heads up. I try to.
Yeah, I thought I saw something, and then I started second guessing myself because I saw this, and we usually get this from like what Fantasy Cruncher has posted. So this could be another edge if you are playing Canucks, and it's still Roussel listed on the second line. Make sure you make that manual adjustment if you're using Fantasy Cruncher with Levo, assuming that's what we see in warmups. And you're going to know a half an hour before lock about. So possible edge there for people that are MMEing or interested in playing the Canucks, which we certainly are. Anything else in this game? You like any defensemen here or either of the goalies?
I've been like playing Lajoie on Ottawa a little bit just because I thought he might get an uptake. He's on the power play 1 and everything, but he hasn't really been doing much. So I don't know. Have you been playing him at all?
Lajoie? Yeah. I've been playing him a little bit. He's no Shabbat, but he is 4K and playing the top power play. And I really do
his
like
ice time was way down last game, but that could just be because they were on the road and getting burned by Columbus.
Yeah, I mean, power play 1 against Vancouver, they commit a ton of penalties. They don't kill him off particularly well. So he's going to be a guy that ends up just by default because of the 4-3-1s that I'm trying to run. And then I really like Edler on the other side for 52 as well. Anytime he's around 5K, A points grade, A value for Osimo. So I'm right there with him.
100%. I think Edler's also great in cash. He tends to shoot a lot. He gets a lot of block shots. I think he was like setting like records for block shots before he went down earlier on in the season. And he's kind of like a nice non-correlation play if you're doing something like 2-3 stacks, and you're not in the Vancouver Ottawa game and you want to plug in 2 defensemen. It's not going to be very highly owned, I'm guessing. So I like that price point too.
Corsi says Lajoie's third pairing in Ottawa is rolling 7D tonight. I did not catch that at all. So definitely a minutes downgrade for him.
Yeah.
I don't. Did you see that they're running 7D?
No, I didn't see that.
Not. That's I usually don't like playing anyone that's not like Burns, Carlson, those type of guys that their minutes are safe. So especially if he's on third pairing or what they view as the third pairing, then that may be a little bit of a downgrade. He still is 4K.
That could also be like Harper, who has been playing forward a little bit as well for them. So it could be like that's the 7D, and he'd kind of rotate on the fourth line maybe.
Yeah, that could be it.
But Pajärvi's also back for them as well, I think.
Is he really?
Yeah, I thought he was slated in on the fourth line.
Okay. All the
we'll wait. It sounds like it's a little bit up in the air right now, so we'll take a look. But
all the marquee names in this game. Levo, Erickson, Payarvi, Zach Smith, all the best DFS plays in this game. I don't really love either of the goalies here. I do have a little bit of Hogberg just because I'm rolling a bunch of that Ottawa top line and trying to correlate where I can.
Yep.
So that's going to be about it for goalie exposure. You like either of these two guys?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like Hogberg's not a bad play. The Canucks are still like, they have obviously the potential to score, and they're implied for 3.5 goals. So, but Ottawa gives up a ton of shots, so it's certainly not the worst play at that price as well. And also like a nice pivot off Blackwood will probably be the most owned in that price range as well. So yeah, I definitely don't hate it.
Calgary Flames, Detroit Red Wings, 3.4 implied total for the Flames, 2.6 for the Red Wings. Mike Smith going up against Jimmy Howard. We've got a very, very expensive Calgary one line here on the road. But this is one that I like. Two lines specifically. But what do we have for news here, Nolan?
We have. So I'm just looking at the Sens morning line. So yeah, it is Boker, Smith, Ryan, Kachuk, Tierney, Stone. Everything's the same there. I don't see. I don't see that they're rolling 7 defensemen. I think that they just had. I think TSN 1200 just reported that they had a 7th defenseman in, but I could be wrong about that. So yeah, sorry. Getting back to this game, I know that the Detroit Red Wings switched up their lines a little bit here. So we have
top line again.
Yeah, Nyquist is back on the top line. Bertuzzi's up on the second line, and Athanasio's down on the third line. Helm is also back after missing, I think, 21 games. So that third line's cheap, but not really exciting. And then Applicator's price way down on Detroit 1 on DraftKings. And then on the Calgary side, I don't think there are any changes. Frolik is back on the second line, but he was there last game as well, I think. And that is it. Yeah. Did you?
I mean, anything jumping out to you from a DFS perspective here?
So I think I'm always a little bit intrigued about taking the other end of games when teams fly out for the beginning of an East Coast road trip, or vice versa. Actually, one of my favorite things to do is to take the opposite side of that. If like a team on the East is flying out to the West and playing their first game, that time change can have some effect. Sure. I don't know what the stats say, but I haven't actually looked it up, but I find like people kind of aren't keeping track sometimes of when these teams are going away on these long road trips or playing their first game in a new time zone. So I kind of lean to a little bit towards the Detroit side of this, just as a bit of a contrarian play and taking Detroit 1. And then obviously Giordano is awesome and should be rostered. And then my only other thought was I think Detroit 2 is intriguing as a cheap play to stack if you want to get in like Colorado 1 or Dallas 1 or some other top lines.
Yeah. So Detroit 2, like they're super cheap. They're gonna pop for people because if you can fit in like a Colorado 1 with them, or even on the other side you can fit in Calgary 1. I'm not crazy about them just as a trio in general.
Yeah.
I really, really love Detroit 1 here, Larkin, Nyquist, Ablocator. Calgary 1's been very, very good, but Larkin usually sees top competition when he's at home, especially with Nyquist. So I would expect that to be a super high event matchup. And they're just too cheap. Like Ablocator sucks, sure, but he's 2,600, and he's basically free on DraftKings and skating with two really good skaters. And then I like Calgary 2. I think they're going to see that Nielsen, Bertuzzi, Vanek line, which I don't think should be any good defensively. Same goes for the third line for Detroit. So I just think they're going to get really soft matchups, and I like that line with Frolik back on it. Backlund and Kachuk, we obviously know what they're capable of, and they're pretty cheap as a trio as well. So Detroit 1, Calgary 2 is where I'm honing in here.
I agree, and I think also Calgary 3 in play as well if you're doing some higher price stacks too. Okay. But, yeah, I mean you get two A values on that line. Jankowski kind of sucks, but
yeah. Giordano, he's probably going to be my highest owned defenseman. He's going to be right up there with Burns. Everything you look at, like shot attempts, creates a bunch of scoring chances, plays a ton of minutes. He does everything you want for a 6K defenseman. Even in like non-Calgary 1 lineups, which I don't even know if I'm going to have any out of my 20, I'm going to have a ton of Giordano. It's a really good power play spot for the Flames. I think their top line is just a little bit too expensive for me.
Yeah, they're getting really priced up, obviously, after that. What an 8-9 goal output the other night. So, um, yeah, I think they're not a bad play. That was a great call by Homercles the other day, putting
Yeah,
in Calgary.
that's
I
why he's
got
the
some late
best.
switches there, and
Yeah,
what's that?
that's why he's the best.
Nice. Yeah, I think you're bang on with that one. They're just a little too high priced for me tonight, but
Yeah, and it's on the road too. I mean, they're
yeah,
not gonna get the benefit of last change, so just another
yeah.
bump for me. I mean, like I said, very good power play spot, but I'd rather just take Giordano and kind of be done with it unless I'm going to Calgary too here.
And I think
Uh,
just given these DK rankings beside them, like Detroit's obviously giving up a ton of fantasy
mhm.
points, so probably won't see. I think they'll see a decent amount of ownership. I'm
Yeah,
thinking like 10, 12%.
for Calgary one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to kind of get a read on them. I don't know what the general feeling is for them, but they're super expensive. They are on the road. That
yeah.
being said, it is
Maybe
a
less.
like large implied total. Like
Yeah.
3.4 on the road is about as high as you see a lot of the
Hmm.
time. So um, I don't know. It could go either way. I would say yeah, around hovering around 10% depending on which tournament you're looking at, which definitely is pretty significant even for a 6 game slate.
Yeah.
Anything else in this game that you have?
No, I think I'm staying away from the goalies pretty much in that one. You?
I got a little bit of Howard. Cheap. He's at home. He's going to see a ton of shots. If Detroit can stay out of the penalty box,
Yeah.
I like his chances to get a
That's
win here, and he
that's a
correlates
nice
well with my.
correlation play
Yeah.
with Detroit one there. Yeah.
Mike Smith, I will check and see if I have any of him, but I don't. Oh, I had 10% of him, so
Hmm.
that's fine. That might get bumped down. I may not have any Mike Smith, but not really crazy about him 8K on the road here.
Yeah, that's way too much money. That's terrible value.
All right. Penguins and the Rangers, 3.4 implied total for Pittsburgh, 2.8 for the Rangers. Matt Murray going up against Henrik Lundqvist. What do we have for news here, Nolan?
I keep deleting my browser that has my news here. Okay, just pulling it up. What do we got here? Shattenkirk came back last game. Rangers are still rolling with a 5-man forward unit on their power play 1, but power play 2 got the bulk of ice time last game, so I wouldn't put too much stock in it. They're kind of generally split them up. Cristobal Nieves is on the Rangers' third line. He was also there last game. Rangers' first 3 lines are all pretty kind of in play and pretty cheap. And then Rust returns for the Penguins. It looks like Aston Reese moved down to Pittsburgh 4, and all the other lines are the same.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned the Rangers side. I think it might go a little bit under-owned, especially because you got a couple lines that people like to play with Hayes Zuccarello on one line. But I really like the Zibanejad, Kreider, Jesper Fast line. I don't really love Fast. He's not in the advocator, he's not in the advocator tier as far as guys I don't think are any good, but he is 3K, and he's an A value. You got A points grade A values for Kreider and Zibanejad, and then they're probably going to get a pretty high event matchup no matter who they go up against. They play a ton of ice time together, and top power play time for Zibanejad and Kreider. So that's the line I really want in this game. I mean, the Penguins side, how do you think they're going to be owned tonight?
That's a good question, actually. They weren't coming up for me at all, so I kind of think that they're going to go under-owned a little bit.
Okay.
Just with sort of juicier matchups: Vancouver, Ottawa, Calgary, Dallas, Colorado. These are probably going to soak up a lot of ownership. So I think you could probably get an ownership discount on Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Just don't know which way to go with them right now. I'm leaning towards Pittsburgh too. I've got them in a few lineups, just because Malkin and Hornqvist are priced down. I think those are great values for them. And I don't really like Simone on that line, but what are you going to do?
Right. Yeah.
And then sorry, go ahead.
I mean, I've got a couple of shares of each right now. I don't know if that's going to stick. I would like to make a bigger stand. I seriously feel like I never get Pittsburgh right, no matter what, whether they're chalk or
I
going to go under owned. They always bury me one way or the other. So probably going to split my exposure with the top 2 lines. I don't have anything any super hot takes. I think the line, I would not want to face Zibanejad if I could avoid it. But I think that Crosby line actually is really solid, even with Rust there for almost 5K. So it's just really tough. I'm not taking a strong stance.
Yeah. I think the Malkin price though is really nice, right? Like,
oh yeah,
6,100. Like maybe I'm guessing they'll soak up the most ownership.
I mean, Horquist's price too is really good.
Yeah, they're both really good.
You're probably right on that.
That third line's a little bit intriguing. Kessel's obviously super hot right now, and like his other line mates are priced down, so I don't hate that as well. It's a kind of cost saver. They're probably like 11,000 or something, 12,000 for the line.
Yeah, I didn't get to the third line. I rarely do, but you're probably right about Malkin and Hornqvist soaking up the majority of the Pittsburgh ownership tonight, just because you get two guys on the top power play. Simone's super cheap, whereas like you look at Crosby, yeah, he's awesome, and people are going to play him, but Gensel PP2 tag, and then Rust not on the power play, plus he's almost 5K. So
plus he's also listed as day-to-day, and like even though he skated in line rushes this morning, it's entirely possible that people will be scared off on that. My guess is it's pretty much like he's going to play. So
sure,
and he's priced up. So yeah, Pittsburgh 1 is probably a sneak play.
Okay, yeah, I like it. Pittsburgh 1, maybe a little bit of the second line, and then I'm going pretty heavy on the Zibanejad, Kreider, and Fost line. Their numbers are really good in about an 80-minute sample. So
nice.
That's where I'll be going.
Will you be correlating at all with Lundqvist?
Yeah, I do like that. I mean, so he plays for the Rangers. He's going to see a ton of shots pretty much anytime he's out. Pittsburgh generates a lot of chances, a lot of shot attempts. So hopefully they're the shot attempts of the low danger variety. And New York Rangers 1 plus Lundqvist opens up a ton of salary for the rest of your lineup. So I really like that. Not really crazy about a ton of defensemen on the Rangers, honestly. Do you know who is even skating on their top power play unit? Is it Pionk still?
No, it was Pionk and Shattenkirk on the power play too, but they basically got the most ice time last game, so I think they're going with five forward unit.
Oh wow, they still have that.
They're technically their first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I wouldn't put too much stock in it. It's basically like probably a 50-50 proposition.
Yeah. Okay. And then it's very clear on the Pittsburgh side. I think who you want. You're cutting out a little bit. Are you guys getting Nolan cutting out too, or is it just me?
Yeah. Is it any better?
Yeah, what's up?
Better?
All right. Now I think you're back. Okay,
sweet. I'm not seeing any issues, but
okay. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit poor connection.
Yeah, I like that call as well. I think a lot of obviously Lundqvist is not going to be highly owned tonight, so that's a nice little pivot there if you correlate them with the Rangers 1.
Yeah, I like it a lot. All right, so we ready to move on here? Letang on the other side. Do you have anything for Pittsburgh or Murray?
No. Are you ranking as like Burns 1, Giordano 2, is Letang 3, Letang, Carlson?
I think he would be right there with Carlson for me for the third guy. So it's very clearly Giordano and Burns, and then after that, take your pick. Yeah.
How do you approach Letang like normally? Are you like using him in? I have this perception of him as always just correlating well with power play 1 on Pittsburgh. So I tend, and he also like always seems to get more ice time with Pittsburgh 1 over Pittsburgh 2. So I tend to correlate him, but I don't. And whereas like I'm with Burns or some of these other defensemen, I'm just like get him in my lineup or Yossi. I just get him in my lineup as possible. Do you think that's like irrational, or do you think that's
No,
a wise move?
No, I'm right there with you. Are you saying you rarely end up on him as like a one-off?
Yes. Yeah. Whereas I end up on like Yossi or Burns as one-offs almost solely.
Yeah, I think a lot of it it's assist equity, right? He plays on that sick top power play. He skates with a lot of very talented skaters. He's not likely the one that's going to do a lot of the actual scoring. And Pittsburgh's always highly owned, and he's usually pretty highly priced. He's sometimes higher priced than Burns and Giordano tonight. So there's just guys that I think have better raw point projections that I end up on a lot more than Letang as a one-off.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
We didn't even mention your boy Hronek today. Hronek?
Yeah, he's fine. What's he priced at? 29. Yeah.
24 minutes last game.
Did he really? I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Um,
2,900. That's a good, like, nice little. If you need a cheap tee, I don't think it's a worst play.
sure. Yeah, I don't mind that. All right, Devils and Stars. We have a 2.6 implied total for the Devils, 3.3 for the Dallas Stars. The Osmo.com Slack chat favorite top line. The Dallas Stars won. They're back together. Got anything else we should talk about off the top here, Nolan?
Just some like Dallas has kind of shuffled their lines a little bit. They're obviously always unreliable. Like they shuffle in game more than any other team I think in the NHL. Nichushkin, Rupe Hintz, and Gurionov are on the fourth line now. All three of those guys have taken their turn on Dallas 1 before. So I mean they're probably not. It's probably a terrible play, but it's kind of intriguing a little bit. Dallas 3 and Dallas 2 are just sort of the same, sort of Shore, Spezza, Janmark, Bidlick, Faxa, and Como. And then Klingberg's got a huge uptick in minutes lately. He's sort of starting to get work back into that rotation. He got like 25 minutes last game. So obviously with Taylor Hall out, I'm big on the Stars tonight. I think you're big on the Stars tonight. I think we'll probably somehow they'll find a way to score 1 goal and screw us all. But what are you going to do?
Yeah, donating again to my Dallas Stars fund. I can't it'd be one thing if there were other lines that like graded out well value wise to them, but you've got a nice implied total at home. Devils team that's missing their best player, their driver of possession, everything like that. They've won some games without Taylor Hall, but they're getting incredible goaltending right now. You would obviously not expect them to be running through the league without Taylor Hall. So I think at some point they're going to come crashing down to earth. Blackwood, he's not going to shut everyone out. It sucks too because I think Dallas is going to be pretty chalky, even though they have been less than stellar for DFS purposes. But I'm going there. They're not that expensive. They're right up there with Colorado 1 for me as like the top raw point getters. So
yeah,
it's just how it's gonna be.
He's obviously on a hot streak, and like we all know goalies can get on hot streaks, right? It happens, but there's gonna be some regression sometime. Like it's bound to happen. He's like a mediocre AHL goalie. He's not gonna be the greatest goalie in the NHL history. So I would expect some regression soon. I wonder, I see a lot of people in the chat saying Blackwood, they're rolling with him. So maybe the perception is that he's so hot right now that he's worth rostering, so then that could lower some of Dallas's ownership.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't like targeting Dallas all that much. They don't generate a ton of shot attempts. They get a lot of high danger chances, and they just haven't been putting them home, especially that top line. So Dallas 1 for me. They're gonna hit the cap. I have not been right on them, I don't think, one time, and they're gonna be chalky. But that's the play I'm making. So it's gonna be pretty much all Dallas 1 in this game. It's not going to be. I don't think I'll have anything from the Devils side. I'll double check my last crunch, but I don't think I have anything. I don't even think I have a defenseman. Yeah, I don't have anything from the Devils. So go Stars once again.
I guess the contrarian play would be San Jose. Sorry, not San Jose. Devils allowing the 30th least amount of high danger chances at all strengths this year. Do you want to talk ourselves off of them?
They've been bad on the road, though, if I remember correctly.
Hold on. I think they're also good on the road. Let's see.
Maybe I'm wrong about that. It could be.
They have been worse on the road, yeah. Okay. So they're 13th worst. Okay, so that makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah. Andy Green, no, Andy Green. There's just nothing without Taylor Hall on that team. Yeah, you can make a case for Miles Wood if you're one-offing or something for 3,300. But there's no Taylor Hall, so it just takes away all the appeal of the Devils pretty much for me.
Yeah,
you have any interest in these Devils lines? Jesper
No,
Bratt
I might just do one team out of however many I'm entering just to kind of hedge my bet a little bit and put New Jersey 1 or I don't even know, probably just New Jersey 1 with Blackwood, but that's about it. I'm pretty much all in on Dallas tonight. So
yeah. I'm not intentionally fading the Devils. Like, it's just going to be a projections thing, and I'm not getting to enough lineups to play them. But I'm very comfortable not playing them tonight without Hall.
Good. That makes me feel good.
Yep.
Let's roll. Let's win some money. I believe in you again, Ben. We have more faith in you than your CEO.
Yeah. Enjoy your Devils stacks that win everything tonight, because I will not be there.
Stay out of the chat.
Yeah, I just get trolled every time Dallas. It's like the second period, and people just start lighting money on fire with emojis at me every time Dallas one sucks. So
nice.
Maybe tonight's finally the night. Klingberg, 5,500. I like him a ton. You mentioned him. And
are you going to be going 4-man stacks?
Yeah. Klingberg's going to be in the majority of my Dallas one stacks. If we can fit him, depending on which other line I'm pairing them with.
28 minutes last game.
Whew, that's healthy.
24, 27, 24, 21, 23, 27 since he's been back.
Yeah, love that.
That's good.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, next game. Oh, I do like Bishop for 8,100. I think this is a game the Stars
Bishop
should win.
I've got far too much Bishop tonight, probably, but that's okay. I think that he's the only A-grade goalie from Osmo. He's the highest. He just seems to be the safest play anyway. So
I agree.
If you're going in cash, I would go with Bishop.
Agreed. All right, the Sharks and the Avalanche. Stars on the mind for me. 3.2 implied total for the Sharks. 3 for the Avalanche at home here. Martin Jones, Philip Grubauer going for the Sharks and the Avs. What do we have for news here, Nolan? Colorado 1 news?
Yeah, I think the big news is that even though Yost is projected on Colorado 1, he did not play there. I don't even think he maybe 2 shifts last game. They had a 27% 5v5 ice time share, and they're obviously all still in the power play, the regular Colorado 1. So that you might get a slight ownership advantage with just rostering Colorado 1 tonight, especially if you're in some lower stakes games. And the other lines, I believe, are the same, though. I'll just double check. But yeah. And then Tyson Barrie seems like he's kind of getting an uptick in.
Oh, you're cutting out again a little bit.
Time as well lately. For all the.
All right, let's see. I can't tell if you're just cutting out to me or chat. I'm assuming to chat as well. But anyways, we'll just keep going. I think
just cut me off if I'm you can talk. And then I think San Jose is the same pretty much. All their lines are pretty much the same, except for on defense. Simic is out and Ryan is in on Burns's partner.
Perfect. All right.
Oh, sorry. One more other note. Carlson and Burns actually got a bunch of 5-on-5 ice time at last game, and they're both on the power play now. So that's sort of like they weren't a great correlation play, I think, previously, but that I don't know if that's a trend that's developing. Could just be that crazy game in Calgary with all those penalties and all the scoring. But it's possible that they're sort of starting to just put them on the ice together more.
It could be. Was there an injury? Was it Simek who was injured during
he had a concussion last game, so that could also be the reason. I might just be reading too much into it, but at least they're on the power play together more, which I think they're on for 95% of the power play one last game. So
for sure, for me here, it's going to be pretty easy. McKinnon, Rantanen, and Landeskog. That's how I'm stacking the Avs. I don't really care how they list the lines. I don't care what Daily Faceoff says. It's kind of the same thing with Dallas 1. You just look at any of the recent games on Natural Stat Trick or wherever you go, and they're always getting the majority of ice time together. Colorado 1, Dallas 1, same thing. So you have to make the manual change in Fantasy Cruncher. I tried to post this. I updated my article from this morning where I recommended Colorado 1. So you're going to have to make the manual change. Make sure you knock Yost down to whatever line you want. Put Landeskog on line 1 if you want to stack the real Colorado 1. But yeah, they're grading out incredibly. The Sharks, obviously not a bad team at all, but I think the McKinnon line's going to get a bunch of high event matchups, whether they go up against Hurdle or the Couture line or really the Thornton line. I'm not worried about that at all. Really not worried about any line when it comes to Colorado 1.
Yeah.
They're just incredible. So I'm going to take advantage. I hope people stack deals with them. Go ahead.
Steve touched a little bit last game on San Jose as a road team, just like giving up a ton of chances, right? So they're playing really high event hockey. So I think that Colorado 1 is just with them priced up. It's and I think a lot of people going to Dallas. That's a smart play tonight.
Yeah. Give me Colorado 1. When in doubt, and then I do like the Hurdle line a little bit. Hurdle, Kane, and Donskoy. Not great power play correlation there. And same thing with Couture, Meyer, and Radil, but the lines as wholes are pretty cheap with Donskoy and Radil being so cheap. So they're coming up as some decent values. Colorado takes a bunch of penalties. You could just go San Jose power play stack with Burns and Carlson and maybe take a couple of these forwards. I think that would be something pretty smart to do. That's going to be different. But yeah, it's this one looks like a fun game.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's tough. You can't really get much of a game stack in there, unfortunately, if you're going Colorado 1. But maybe the Oiler, maybe the Sharks 2 there with Thornton and Sorensen. But other than that, there's lots of nice options here. Would you be pairing Barry up with your Colorado 1 stacks?
Oh yeah. He hasn't been shooting as much as I would like to see him. Just like straight shot attempts. I'm looking at the game logs, kind of seeing. I mean, he's got at least 3 shots in 3 out of his last 4. The minutes look good. Like there were times last season where he was just basically a lock, especially at home, when Colorado 1 was going to be popular because he was just shooting so much. He was spending almost all of his ice time with Colorado 1. I guess Colorado 1 was spending almost all their ice time with Tyson Barrie, which he just loved. I haven't looked. Do you know off the top of your head how they're doing it at home? Are they going Colorado 1 with the Barrie Cole pairing, or are they going with Girard and Johnson more?
Oh, it's more with Barrie. I think he got like 13 minutes with them last game. Nice. So generally speaking, his ice time is much higher with Colorado 1. But let me just double check. They were at home to the Kings last game, and I think it was 13 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, and Colorado's been struggling. That's why they're doing this weird stuff with their lines. They're so quick to bail with the Jost, whether it's Kerfoot or Nieto or whoever, Matt Calvert, whoever they've put up there. I mean, they bail so quickly when things go bad. So, and
I think rightfully so. Like, just keep that line together. You have the best line in hockey. Just keep it.
They're getting
Barry's 16 minutes last game with them.
Yeah.
So
okay.
That's
Perfect.
huge. That's huge.
Yeah, that's correlation in a nutshell right there. Like, he's the very obvious guy to pair. Don't overthink it if you're trying to get someone in, jam someone in with Colorado 1. Burns, underpriced. Carlson, probably underpriced as well. 6,200 and 5,800. I don't know why DK's algorithm priced them down so much, but Colorado commits a ton of penalties and they don't have a great kill. So those two things, you'd think Burns and Carlson would get a price increase, but they're lower than what you normally see. Burns is, if not my highest exposed defenseman, my second highest behind Giordano. I would expect him to be the highest owned defenseman on the slate, but he's well worth it.
I agree. And I think I was just thinking about like stacking here. Obviously, Colorado's always so hard to stack, especially if you're putting Barrie in. But one thing you can consider as well, like obviously there are a lot of nice cheap lines out there, or like you sort of go to Osmo stack rankings and then just look at the price points you need to fit in, or if you're crunching whatever. But Dallas 2, 3, 4, something like that, and then like a pairing with Bishop. Those lines are all cheap. If Dallas 1 doesn't go off, it's not a bad option. They obviously get split up a little bit, but I'm just kind of thinking, like, just in terms of correlation and getting a win there, that might not be a bad option.
I mean, there's quite a few lines. If you want to dip to New Jersey, or if you want to double punt your defenseman, Detroit 2. I think you may be able to fit Calgary 2 with Colorado 1 if you double punt.
If you double punt, you have like 2,500 left over. I think as well. There's one other one I like. I can't remember if it's like Vancouver 2 or something like that, but it's pretty tight. But I've noticed testosterone when I was just looking at his. He does a lot of like the weird Dallas 2-3 lines. Like he had like a lot of Pitlick Faxa one night. Like I don't
I mean,
know
he
if
just
that was just a singular matchup or if it was just like the price point and the sort of lines, because he definitely likes to pay up for defensemen and pay down for unique line combos, right?
yeah. I mean, on short slates,
Yeah.
he's spreading it out very well. So like, if there's an expensive line, like, and one that almost seems like way too expensive, like Colorado won when they were like 24K, like he will force in, whether it's him forcing in or him just having Colorado one projected way higher than everyone else. There will be line, like he'll just throw in whoever fits. That's an even strength full line stack. So you'll see him, like, especially on shorter slates too. So you'll see him have like some third lines that are like, Zaka, Nason, and Miles Wood type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
I think like is really, I thought about it and I was like, like obviously we're these third lines are not getting much ice time and they're not getting a lot of offensive zone starts. They're just generally bad plays, but like their ownership is nothing. Like everyone else is trying to fit in like two top lines, but you're getting like such unique combos when you do that. And then also like the D is just, I feel like the D is sort of kind of like generally drastically underpriced. So if you're pairing like with higher priced D, you just have such a nicer floor, right? Like
Agreed.
That's the other thing I think we talked about. He always puts in that top defenseman if he can.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something I've been implementing as well. Just like pay up for the guys like Giordano and Burns and Letang. When these guys are expensive, because they're almost always underpriced relative to some of these forwards that you see. Just like
that's the thing, right? Yeah, they're great value plays. I think as when I was a beginner as well, like I always tried to stuff in two good lines, and I think that's a mistake. I think that the benefits of getting the defenseman are what we just talked about, and then also you force in that cheap line, but you're getting lineup differentiation from that cheap line, which is nice too.
Yeah, and I mean just the top defense. Like if you think about it, it's just like, okay, they're probably playing on the top power play. That's better chance at points. They're probably playing 8 to 10 more minutes than a lot of these top forwards, and they're just so much less likely to kill you. And when you're like sweating the games, like having a Brent Burns or Giordano, I mean, just mentally is so much better. And that's
having some $2,600 plug is not fun. As someone who's been playing a lot of Nick Leddy lately, let me tell you.
I mean, at least he plays 20 minutes though, right? Like,
yeah.
But he's still a name that people gravitate to, or if you're using data from 2 years ago still, which a lot of people do. I think Alex does as well. That's why you see him, Letty being like an A value sometimes. He'll come up for people, and that's just like the most tilting thing ever. You just need like a 5-point performance, and he just
goal last game now, so I'm all right with it. That was it. One shot, one goal, I think.
Yeah, he doesn't shoot. He's not even probably a bad real life player. He just doesn't shoot.
Yeah, that's
hard
true.
to accrue fantasy points when you do that.
Yeah.
Speaking of hard to accrue fantasy points, last game of the night, Edmonton Oilers, Arizona Coyotes, 2.8 implied total for both teams. Mikko Koskinen and Aiden Hill going for their squads. Talk about these Edmonton lines. What do we got going on with them?
Yeah, so last game the Edmonton lines didn't last too long, and they basically were in game shuffling a lot. Now Draisaitl's up top with McDavid and Cassian, and then second line is the same, and then third line Kyra is down. Kyra, is that his name?
Kyra, yeah, something like that.
Kyra down with Ryder and Spooner, and then the fourth line is just garbage. Ratty's all the way down in the fourth line, so at least like Draisaitl, McDavid. I mean, I've tried this a few times with the old double center stack on FanDuel. I don't know if he's listed as a center.
Center on DK.
Yeah, center on DK, center on FanDuel. So that's always a little bit intriguing, but I mean, this is pretty gross matchup. Edmonton only has 2.8 goals. Both these teams are implied for 2.8 goals, so this should be like the most boring game of the night. On the other side, Schmaltz is probably out for the. I think he's
confirmed.
Out,
Yep.
Confirmed out. So Brad Richardson, who is not very good at hockey, will take over the second line role. I kind of like these Arizona one pretty cheap though, so I kind of like Arizona one actually, just to pair with some of these higher price stacks.
Yeah.
What say you?
Yeah, you cut out a little bit there. I think you said you liked Arizona 1, though.
Yeah, I like Arizona 1, just their price point to pair with, like, if you're doing Colorado 1 stack or Dallas 1 stack.
Yep. You read my mind there. We're on the same page. Full power play correlation against a team that's not great at even strength. they're probably going to get some time against McDavid, Draisaitl, and whoever is their other winger, whether it's Kassian or just a revolving door there. It could be Lucic, could be Puljujarvi, which would be the preferred option, but they gave that experiment about 40 minutes of 5-on-5 ice time. But yeah, Stepan, Keller, Panik, I think they fit with Colorado 1. You don't even have to punt that much either. May just have to go with a cheap goalie, but luckily you've got a cheap goalie in Aiden Hill that you could correlate with. So they're going to be a pretty popular filler, whether it's with Dallas 1 or Colorado 1, I would think. If you go with them in Dallas 1, you could fit in one of the Burnses or Giordano's or Klingbergs, whoever you want. So yeah, Dallas or not Dallas 1, Arizona 1. Richardson, they've used him in the shutdown role. I don't know as much this year. I don't think they've done that as much. Yeah, but like if you're gonna put,
I'm kind of surprised. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, if you're gonna put Richardson on McDavid, like we should be looking at McDavid here. I'm not getting to him, and it's likely because of how good Arizona is on the penalty kill. They're just really, really stellar, and that's such a big part of accruing DFS points. So that's why I don't like to target Arizona that much. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. Arizona's just been really sound defensively this year. I don't know like what they're doing over there. Chaika's got some weird like algorithm, I swear, that he's like building his team through, and like all of his players just fit into this thing. I don't get it. But it's I don't know if it's working, but it's certainly I think like what they are is getting the most out of the talent they have, because that is not a very talented hockey team right there. So yeah, I definitely just have not been targeting Arizona at all. In fact, like I think the perception earlier on in the years that they were bad, and now the perception has started to change from the DFS community that they're extremely good defensively. So yeah, that's basically I won't have much of the Oilers tonight.
I mean, yeah, and if I'm going to the Oilers, it would be McDavid and Draisaitl, and Kassian. If you do choose to include him, makes that line a lot more affordable. So it's just cheap exposure to McDavid and Draisaitl. I would be a little worried about using Kassian. You might donk an assist, or somehow McDavid throws a puck off his skate and it goes in or something. But I would like to leave him off, especially if I'm hand building. There's just no chance of playing Kassian. I don't think he sticks there for very long. And good luck trying to predict who else is going to be with McDavid and Draisaitl tonight, or even if McDavid and Draisaitl stick is the other thing. So it's rough.
I agree. It's just a full stay away scenario.
Yeah. What about? I mean, there are some cheap defensemen here. I like Chychrun quite a bit for Arizona as a one-off, or if you're going to like a Galchenyuk or Hinostroza or one of these guys in the second power play. Nurse, of course.
I've noticed he pops a lot in your model. Like Chychrun, and he like probably rightly so lately. You're starting to see some results. He's getting the shots, he's getting the minutes. He had 5.5, 4.5 DK fantasy points recently. So
it's his per 60 numbers, and he's increasing in minutes, like you said. So yeah, he's gonna come up. Attempts a bunch of shots, and when he's getting the minutes, he can be pretty valuable for under 4K. Osmo agrees. It looks like.
Yeah, he's great value. Ekman Larson has just been I'm like a sucker for Ekman Larson, and he's just been like a dud this year, though. It looks like he's turned it around a little bit.
He's coming up a little bit for me, and he's not someone I usually get to, so it's just a price thing. I don't know that he's going to all of a sudden be great for DFS, but floor-wise, you're getting a lot of minutes. Yeah, not used to seeing that at all. But I
don't think that's a bad play.
You don't think what?
I don't think Ekman Larson's a bad play.
No, not at all. No, not at all. What about Aiden Hill or Koskinen? Man.
Yeah, I might do like a Hill Arizona 1 stack, and that's probably all I will have out of that game. Like I don't think I'll take the other side of it. There's probably not going to be a ton of shots in this game. It's probably just a lot of a stay away from me.
Yeah, I feel like a fish playing Aiden Hill, but I am playing some Aiden Hill tonight. Like, you see the low total. It's supposed to be a close game. Arizona's, like we said, good in the penalty kill. I don't know how many shots he's going to see. I don't know how much Edmonton's going to be able to generate, but he's just so cheap, and he's at home, and I do like correlating goalies, and I do like Arizona 1. So just all those factors are getting me to some Aiden Hill, but it feels fishy. I think he could be sneaky chalk.
Yeah? There's a lot of options, though.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, that price range, well, I guess maybe you're right. Like, of those options, Blackwood, I think Blackwood and probably Lundqvist, Grubauer, they're all kind of priced within like $500 of each other. So I wouldn't say he's going to get too chalky.
Okay. Maybe not. I don't know. I just, like, looking at the goal total against him, yeah, it's McDavid, but what else are you worried about on Edmonton? Maybe Nugent Hopkins, you can make a case, or Draisaitl, but man, just a really low goal total against him. I don't know. Like, you look at like Howard, they've got a 3.4 implied total against him. Blackwood or Hogberg at 3.4 against him. So I don't know. It's just maybe people just defer to him a little bit. But
it's going to be a lot of Bishop tonight. I think he pushes 20-25%.
Could be for sure.
That's my guess.
Yeah, I don't know. If we got anything else in this slate, we're kind of right on time here, and we'll get out for the NBA guys. But anything you want to wrap up the show with?
No, I think like looking at these goal totals, I think like it's kind of interesting. Dallas is going to be chalk, but like Canucks, Flames, Penguins all implied for similar goal totals. Sharks, like, so maybe the chalk isn't the best play tonight. Maybe it is just getting off some of these perceived better lines, and the reality is, they're probably not. At the same time, just give me Dallas one.
Yeah, Dallas 1, Ottawa 1, Colorado 1 for me. That's how I'm going to start a lot of my lineups. So no crazy hot takes from me tonight. Yeah, maybe this is finally the Dallas 1 night. Fair. Let's hope. Actually, I would kind of be annoyed if they do it at chalk. So maybe hold off. Don't explode yet. But all right, guys.
Wait until the road.
Yeah, when no one's on them. Please give us a like if you do enjoy the show. It helps us out. Helps us continue to do this for free. My projections will be updated after the show in probably about an hour or so. Osmo's rankings are out for the slate. We've got Nolan's line change article, my stacks article from this morning. Make sure you are manually adjusting on Fantasy Cruncher the line assignments if you want to stack Colorado 1 the way that we recommended. Anything else, Nolan?
That's it.
Sweet. All right.
Good luck, everybody.
We'll be back tomorrow. Good luck, guys.